Hello everybody. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I hope you all had a restful holiday season. I sure needed it, and I am so ready to start 2026 and get going with new projects and try out new things this year. And I want to know what your plans are art-wise for 2026. Are you finally going to try out this new art material that you've been staring at and that you bought a couple years ago and you thought that would be a great way to spend your time? I have a few of those and I really want to tackle them this year, and I am ready. But I figured I would do another recap of 2025 and go through all of the art that we did together here on my channel, and stuff that I started and never finished, a few sketchbook pieces that I did, and so forth. So if you're interested in seeing what we did together over 2025, then let's dive into it. This video is going to be an extra video that I will post as soon as I finished editing it, and then I will be back for my weekend videos this weekend, January either 9 or 10, depending on how well I'm adjusting back to being in the studio and working. So I hope you enjoy this extra video that we're doing right now. 2025 started out with me using Neocolor IIs, and if you don't know what they are the Caran d'Ache water-soluble wax pastels. So I got a set for last Christmas, not this last one, but the 2024 Christmas, and I wanted to try them out. For me, Neocolor IIs were a new medium, so I just wanted to get used to it and see how they would react. I watched a couple of videos and then just went for it. And we did this one together, and then I did a few more just to see, how they would react. I tried something with a grid. I did these ones, and then I tried to do another one and I didn't really like how it turned out. And then we did this one together. So just a few things to get me adjusted to this new medium. I thought I would go in chronological order how I posted the videos, in case you want to go back and have a look at it again. I kept bouncing back and forth with different styles, and I do that a lot at the beginning of the year, and I also go back to things that I have done in the past just to, get me reacquainted with painting and my colors. I don't know if you do the same. I don't do art every single day. With every hobby that I have, I need a break every now and then to go do something different, and that is no different with the painting. So it just takes me a little while to get used to it again. When I did this one though, I realized that I liked the negative painting technique, and that kind of sparked something, and I'll get more into it later. This one was done again, actually both of these were done again with the Neocolor IIs, and I really love how these turned out. Two very different ones, but the same color scheme. Then I went back to watercolor and I did this one. This one was another one in the same style, although I didn't really like the way the lines turned out. I love everything else about it. Some things you love, some things you take into different paintings later on, and some things you just stop doing altogether. This one is another one that I really enjoyed making. This one is a negative painting technique and did really well on my channel. Then we did the dragonflies, which I really like this one. It's very soft and gentle. This style is a reoccurring theme, and I made a whole series out of it and then decided to turn it into a desktop calendar. So if you are interested, these are in my Etsy shop and I have it linked in the description box below. It's still early enough into the year that you can still use it. Another negative painting technique one. Some that are in the calendar I actually didn't put into a video, so there is a couple of them that are new that you haven't seen yet. There's another one. And then I went back into my sketchbook because I had some leftover paint that I wanted to use up, and we did these 2 pages together. This is another negative painting. Negative painting is such a fun way to create all different kinds of things. This one is another one that I did with the negative painting technique, some pebbles. And then we started getting into the Rycote Granulating Watercolors, the second set that they released. I had done this one the year before. That was their first set. And then I decided to go ahead and purchase the second set, which is this one. Again, there is only 5 of them in a set, and I decided that I wanted to not only use them together, because I think they work really well when you mix them together. And I had done the same style with the first set, so I decided that I wanted to do it in the same style again, to try the colors out with the second set. So together they work really well, but I also wanted to see how they would look just by themselves. And then I did a series of different paintings in different styles. This was more a style that I did a few years back, and I wanted to bring it back for the first color. So just remember, this is all one color. I did not mix any other colors into it. This one was another color with the same negative painting technique, but just one color. It's quite amazing how these colors will change colors as you paint with them, except for this one. This one was a struggle for me, and I had to add some colored pencils to just bring out a little bit more excitement into the painting. This one just really stayed true to its only color, but I realized this one mixed in with the other ones was really fun to work with. That one was another color in that set, and then I think this one was the last one of the set, and I really like how this one turned out as well. And then I decided to try out the same, all of the colors again, and do the same style and mix the colors together again. And I really like how this one turned out as well. Then I went back to the negative painting technique and had a lot of fun with this style. At that point I had done quite a lot of these, so I was ready to just dive into something completely different. And that's when I started doing these abstract ones, just lines and watercolor, and this was a whole page, and then I cut it down to smaller sizes. And then I did a video where I showed you how I make these pendants with my unused watercolor backgrounds, or the ones that I did, and you know, I don't want to sell as an individual piece because it was early in my painting journey and I didn't feel confident enough to sell my early works. So I still wanted to do something with them, and so I decided to make paper pendants out of it. And some of these are also in my Etsy store if you want to have a look at it, and if you want to see the video that I did, it is on my channel. I'm having so much fun making these pendants that I decided to also make pins out of it. And what else did I do the other day? Oh yeah, I started making bookmarks. I almost forgot, even though I literally just started making them. So these are cut down old watercolor or acrylic pieces that I cut down to size, and this is just cardstock paper, and then I embroidered it around the edges, and I think those are really fun little projects and would make great gifts if you want to make something like that for yourself. And if you want to know how I made these, just drop me a comment and I can put a video together. They're super easy to make. Then I did a few more. Again, this was a whole page, and I just started putting down watercolor and then decorated it with doodles and lines and marks. Very fun to make. This one is another one that I did in the same style with watercolor. I think this was leftover watercolor paint, and those would make really nice bookmarks as well. So I cut them down to size. Again, don't know yet what I'm gonna do with them. Maybe I'll use them for myself, or later on I will cut them down again. Like if you're not happy with how something turns out, if you cut it down and make it smaller and have that a focal point, it's so much fun. Then I actually started working on this canvas here. I went back to acrylic painting. Every now and then I do that. Again, this was an old canvas that I had laying around and I just needed to do something with it. So that's what I did with it. Acrylic paint is not necessarily something that I work with a lot. I am much more comfortable with watercolors. Then I did this one, and I really like this style as well. I like putting down a really light wash of watercolor paint on my paper and then go back in and doodle on top of it, either with markers or pens or more watercolor. I have a full-size one of this one that you will see later on that I started, and then I decided I didn't have time to do a full one, so I did a smaller size. And also, again, I really like how this one turned out. This one was for my lovely members, a video that I did. Then I did this one. Again, these would work really well as cards. I might turn them into cards later on. This one too, I really enjoyed making these. I liked making these flowers. With every painting that I do, things evolve and get better or worse. So I just wanted to bring those back. And then I did this one. And this one sparked this guy here, which I really enjoyed. I might want to do something like this again, and I really like the intuitiveness of it. And then towards the end of the year, I kind of get burnt out and I don't know what else to make. And then just random stuff comes out of me. And so this was one of them. And also, I think I was using up watercolors that were in my pans. And so that was just a fun little activity for me more than for anybody else. But it's a video, and if you want to watch it, you can. After I did this one, I actually went ahead and found some more old watercolor painting backgrounds and wanted to cut them up. So I made framed art with it, and I think I will put these ones up in my shop for sale. I am not 100% sure as to whether I want to keep them framed or have them unframed. So actually that would be a good question for you. When you buy art, do you like to purchase them framed or unframed? It's just a little harder to ship them framed. That would be my issue. But that would be a good thing to know for somebody like me. Then I did this one too that I really liked. And I did a blue-green one. There's a little bit of a glare. I actually sold one of these at the market with round elements, and I'm really happy that that one found a new home. It's just such a fun way to use up backgrounds that you otherwise wouldn't know what to do with. And I really enjoy making these, and I think I want to make more of this type of art in the future. It combines two of my favorite things. One is painting and the other one is crafting. We're coming towards the end of the year, and like I said, towards the end of the year, I'm struggling with coming up with new things. And so I just need to be kind to myself and just, you know, do art that is simple but still gets my brain going. So I did this one, and I really like how it turned out. And it's so colorful. I really love how these colors work together. This was done with the Rycote watercolor set. I decided I wanted to bring them out and work with them a little bit more. Then I did a partnership with Artix. Again, they sent me this new watercolor sketchbook, and I did a few different things. I just wanted to try out different mediums: watercolor, pencil, acrylic paint, and then a little bit more watercolor, just in different styles. Then I did another one similar to this guy here, also very fun. And then these very soft paintings towards the end of the year, and another one for my members, because I had done two of these backgrounds. I had done this one first, and I realized I wanted to bring in the blue for the sky, and instead of just throwing it in the bin, I made another piece of art with this one, and that one is for my members. And that rounded out the year. And in between, I did a few more different things, which I will get into next. The next part is paintings that I did not film for one reason or another. These are some California poppies that I did with Neocolor IIs. And then I really like making these flowers, and I figured maybe I could use up paper that, you know, I did something else in the back. At one point I was thinking maybe I could turn them into stickers or something like that. Then I have another one of these that I made a couple years ago, and I thought they would make really nice cards, so I did that. And accompanying one of this one. This one was a trial one that I did. I didn't like this one as much, simply because I didn't like how I placed the petals of these flowers. You know, I mean, it happens sometimes. I don't throw them away, I keep them. Sometimes later on I feel like, oh, it's not so bad, when in the moment when I make them I am unhappy with. If I put it away and I come back to it later on and I look at it, I might change my mind and say, oh, it's not so bad after all. Not this one though. This one's still meh. And then I did something like that. And then a bunch of these are, again, negative painting techniques that I wanted to do because I wanted to do a full 12 for the calendars. So these ones I did not film, but those are in the calendar. As you can tell, sometimes I get a little obsessed with certain ideas, and then I just want to keep doing it. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. For one, it helps you perfect a certain style, or, you know, you just feel a certain way, a certain relaxation when you do things over and over and over again. At least that's what it is for me. And then lastly, I have just stuff that I never finished, or backgrounds that didn't go anywhere, paintings that I started and again didn't finish because I didn't like the way it felt, and then I redid it again and then made it into a video. It happens. I had an idea and it didn't turn out. So it's in the pile of maybe I will cut it down and make something completely different with it. So the fun is always in coming back to them and turning it into something else so that you don't have to throw them away. This was another one. This is, I think I wanted to try the Neocolor IIs on hot pressed watercolor paper. So this is a little bit smoother watercolor paper, and I don't like working with hot pressed just because it's very slick and I'm not used to it. But I tried different things on this paper, and just to see, do I like it? Do I want to bring it back? I don't really. This one I had used for some swatching, and I wanted to try a technique, so I did that. Something like that. This one I wanted to turn into a video, and then I decided to put this blob of blue underneath that I didn't like at all, and then I put this flower over it, and I hated it even more. I did turn it eventually into a video, and you saw the paper that I showed before that made it into a video. This one I didn't like. I do like the cobblestone background, so there's that. This one again was one that I managed to make another one that I liked much better that turned into a video. Yeah, I love the colors and I played with them a little bit more. It's just sometimes I have an idea and I want to put something on paper, and it is not necessarily meant to be a video, but I still like to play around with it. This one I really like. and this one has potential as well. It's just in the moment I didn't feel like it. Again, this is another one that I either repurposed the paper or was just trying out new things. I did this one first, and then I drew some flowers on top because I wanted to see what it looked like. A different kind of negative painting technique, I guess, and I hated it. I was like, darn, I really liked this background. I think that's what this one stemmed from. I don't quite remember. I think I have another one that looks similar, that I tried this again and it didn't turn out, and then I cut it down and I wanted to do something else with it, and yeah, it went nowhere, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't end up going somewhere. For now, it just sits in my pile of unfinished paintings. Then I had purchased some stencils, and I wanted to do like an underwater theme, and I hated how the stencils turned out. Again, I don't really work with stencils, so I wanted to try it out first, and I just either didn't like the technique, or I just have to workshop the stencils a little bit more before I can continue working with them. This is the painting that I mentioned that I then ended up making a smaller one. It's unfinished. I might still finish it, so you never know. It's probably not gonna make it into a video. Oh, here it is. That's the other one. I wanted to try it again. I really like the color combo. It just didn't really work. Oh, here's another one. It just didn't really work out the second time around, so I scrapped it. This one, I started out and I liked it, and then I hated it, and so it is now living in my unused background piles. And then I think I had some leftover watercolor paint sitting in my dishes, and I wanted to try out different backgrounds to then put something else on top over it. I might still do that at some point. Maybe it will become a members only video. The members that sign up for the membership, they have basically been around for a while, and they know how I do these backgrounds, so I don't feel so bad not showing how I make the backgrounds. Some of you like to see how I make it. Others are fine with me just continuing with a background without showing how I made it. This one was a very faint square background that I might still also turn into something, put something on top. Again, something that I tried. Then these are more Neocolor IIs. That again is on the hot pressed watercolor paper. I think Neocolor IIs work really well on a smoother surface, and because you need water to activate them, you don't need it, but they work really well when you activate them with water. Hot pressed watercolor paper is thicker than mixed media watercolor paper, so it works a lot better. This one might look familiar. It's I tried it first and then I didn't like it, and so again it now sits in a pile of unused backgrounds that I don't know what to do with. I tried some water lilies, didn't like it. I tried some bouquet style technique. I didn't like it, where it went. And then I think these, I don't know, this one is definitely, and this one, and I think this one as well is definitely the Kuretake set that I had to get used to the colors first and see how they work, what they can do before I, would jump in and make a video out of it. So those are some of those. And then this one is just, again, a background that turned out too dark to put something else on top of it. But who knows? It might work for something else altogether. And this one was at the end of the year. I used some canvas paper. It has a different texture than watercolor paper or the hot pressed watercolor paper, and I used different greens of Neocolor IIs and was trying something out, and it ended up not working out for me. Still looks cool, and I might use it for something else again, who knows. All right, so this is it. I hope you enjoyed going back in time and also seeing a few pieces of art that I did that didn't make it into videos. It's always nice to see what I have done over the year because it doesn't feel like a lot, and when I look back on it, I realized that I actually was really productive. There's a bunch of other stuff that I did in between. I worked on some things that I wanted to bring to the market, the first market that I did last year. Stuff behind the scenes that I don't want to film, that are not worth filming, that are just me tinkering around. So I was very productive, even though I didn't do as much art on paper per se. The previous 2 years, I felt like I did a lot of art, a lot of different styles, a lot of different things, and I had piles of paper, and I feel myself narrowing down and really honing in on certain styles that I don't feel like I have to create a bunch of art anymore. Who knows, it might change again. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I know there's so much more that I want to do, that I want to try out. I just got the Himi gouache set that everybody has been using, and I'm finally, catching on to it. I have never worked with gouache before, and I am now in the process of watching videos and taking notes and figuring it out. So it's this one that I got. My husband bought this for me for Christmas. He's like, I know you want some art supplies, but I don't know what you want, so let's go shopping. And we did. So I got this set, and then I got some new Daniel Smith watercolors that I purchased after I swatched my several sheets of dots that I purchased last year. And this is also a video that will come up. These are the swatch cards that I purchased on Amazon, and I finally had the time to swatch them, and I made it into a video, so that's coming. So that's all of this, just a little sneak peek of what's coming. I also got this Tom Studio Lumos pen, and that was also a gift from my husband because I would not buy it for myself. So I was like, you can buy this for me. But I'm very excited to see if this can replace my disposable pens in the future. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's always fun for me to do. I don't know, a lot of you like it, some of you are not interested in it, and that's fine. And you might want to come back this weekend when I post my first painting video of the year. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your continued support, whether it is subscribing to my channel, commenting, liking, sharing, whether you are a member of my channel. Everything is very much appreciated, and I am so happy to do this with you all and continue to do this with you all. And I always appreciate every comment that comes in. I want you to know that. Have a good start to 2026. Make it a great one. Make it a productive one. Stay creative. I think that is the most important piece of advice that I can give you at the beginning of the year and throughout the year, especially for those of us who are a little bit more advanced in our years. Art is just very good for the soul. It's very good for your brain. So the more you stay creative, I think the healthier your brain stays as we age. Take care, and I will see you this weekend. I hope you will be back. And until then, stay creative wherever you are in the world.